Welcome, everybody, to Season 2 of Play to Find Out, the actual play podcast where we play notorious old TTRPGs from history. I am Quinns, and together with my cheery test subjects, Emily and Rob, in this season we are wiping the dust from the 40-year-old game, Toon. Toon's cool for a few reasons. To start with, it's an RPG where you play cartoon characters. Second, it was made by story designers Greg Kostikian and Warren Spector early in their careers because of a discussion they were part of where some folks agreed that an RPG about cartoons could not be made. And third, it's actually a player versus player RPG. And fourth, it's an RPG where the golden rule is to act before you think. Let's get into this recording, but I should just mention first that this is going to be a shorter season than Skyrealms of Joe Rune. It's more like us just getting our breath back, and before you know it, we'll be back for a big old PTFO Season 3 with a game that, if you can believe it, is even more ambitious and even more unhinged than Joe Rune. Let's begin. Hello, Rob.
Hi.
Hello, Emily.
Hi, Quinns.
Today we are going to be playing Toon, a game from 1984. Say it with me. Toon.
Toon.
Nice. How you guys feeling?
Like, so hyped. Cartoonishly hyped.
Yeah.
I'm like, got those, I don't know, what do Toons have when they're excited? Like, my eyes are stars.
Oh, yeah.
Or like...
eyes falling out in a slightly creepy way.
Yeah. Like, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah,
like, let's go.
I wondered what was wrong with your eyes, but now that makes a lot of sense.
You know, I'm just really in character.
Before we get started, I would like to tell the people at home a little something about you too. Rob!
Oh, hi.
Your day job is that you're a writer and a dramaturge for video games and augmented reality shows. Have I got that roughly right?
That's right. Yeah. I wasn't expecting the interview. Okay. Yes, that's correct.
I know, I'm
Okay.
like, quick, prepare.
No, on that's all I'm fishing for. Emily!
Hello!
This is interesting. When you're not on Play to Find Out, you work as an actual archaeologist with a specialty in animal bones.
Yeah!
So you have literal skeletons in your closet sometimes?
I actually do. They're not non-human skeletons. They're all animal
Not yet,
skeletons.
but you could work your way up. You got to believe in yourself.
It's adjacent.
What I like to think, though, is that because what we're doing today is kind of archaeology, you bring a sort of air of legitimacy to Play to Find Out.
Ooh, so legitimate. Thanks.
Rob, would you say you're bringing anything to this endeavor?
Definitely not legitimate.
Okay, well, I would like for you to think about that and think about next time we play what you might want to bring, frankly. So today we're going to be playing Toon, 1984. This game was originally created as a joke. I'm going to, not as a joke, a dare? That might be the word. Mm-hmm. I'm going to read now from Stu Horvath's book, Monsters, Aliens, and Holes in the Ground, a guide to tabletop role-playing games from D&D to Mothership. Toon was born out of a conversation among designers at a convention about genres that would be difficult to adapt into RPGs. Jeff D., designer of villains and vigilantes, submitted cartoons, specifically the reality-bending ones produced by Warner Brothers, for debate. Whether zany cartoons can make for a good RPG is a reasonable question. RPGs are built with rules, while Looney Tunes are entertaining because they break all the rules. Bugs Bunny looks out the screen at the viewer, gravity stops working, death is impossible, angry lions can be pulled out of a bag, and the animator can change the details of the world with the swish of a brush. All the designers at the table agreed. An RPG based on cartoons was impossible. This judgment stuck in game designer Greg Kostikian's craw, apparently, and a few years later, he designed Toon, seemingly to see if it could be done. Now, Toon, let me slam my book. It's not Quinn's Quest with a nice book slam. So he wrote this game originally as an article, and then one game designer, Warren Spector, contacted Greg and said he wanted to turn it into a whole book. Warren Spector, if you're a video game dweeb, you may know as a guy who worked on System Shock and Thief and then led development on the original Deus Ex. So the guy who helped pioneer the immersive sim. If you don't know what that is, congratulations, you've lived a...
Yeah, sorry, I've checked out a bit.
Yeah, no, great.
Now my eyes are full of stars, though.
Okay, great. So that's what we're going to be playing today. This is also, interestingly, the first ever tabletop role-playing game focused on comedy. Exclusively.
Help.
But Emily, even someone who's as demonstrably unfunny as you, this is a perfect test to see if a game can make even you funny.
Yeah, well, we shall see.
We shall see.
Let's play to find out.
Let's play to find out, baby. I'm just before I kick us off, I'm gonna just there's so much paperwork on this podcast. There is one rule that you've got your character sheets in front of you, a single little sheet of A4.
Talking about paperwork, like they're fairly light.
Yeah.
They're pretty light.
Love it.
There's probably, like, if someone hadn't played TTRPGs before, it's probably still an unbelievable amount of words considering we're about to play a cartoon.
Don't know.
But there is one rule that I'm going to be encouraging you two to do as my players today. And that rule in Toon is act before you think. If I see you thinking at any point, then I'm going to call you out on it. I'm going to do my best. So just don't think, just respond like as an animal or a child would to all of the scenes I'm going to be putting in front of you. We're going to start with some little introductory scenes for your characters, but then we're going to go into the first, what's called a feature film for Toon, the first pre-written adventure, which is good because it takes the pressure off me as a GM. And if it's bad, that's because we're doing a historical project as opposed to something that I've been creative about.
Archaeology, right?
Archaeology, baby. Emily, you can confirm. Archaeology is sometimes boring and bad, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. Rob.
Aye.
Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
I would like you to both imagine a helicopter shot pushing down through clouds towards the town of any town. And I would like to push deeper into a colourful, bushy part of any town, the Any Zoo, where your character is gainfully employed working as a hippopotamus.
It's my calling.
Rob, as we push closer towards the hippopotamus enclosure, would you like to describe your character for us?
Okay, so I think at first glance, I think my character's very professional when he's at his day job. You know, he's there for the kids, right? But I think we probably see him give a bit of a wink to the camera at one point. Maybe after a few, gawking, delighted school children have been a little bit mystified by the fact that the hippo seems to have just vanished for a second. Like he just walks behind one reed and reappears behind another. And I cannot stress enough how big my character is. And I think there's a definite wink to the camera, and I think my character probably shares a bit of a wink with one or two kids who might have noticed that as he sort of goes under the water, then suddenly he might reappear from somewhere entirely unexpected, like he's able to flit through the shadows with an agility that you wouldn't expect from a hippopotamus.
This is great. I think some of the concerned parents are ushering their children away from the creepy winking hippo. You've described so many winks. This hippo will not stop winking, and the parents are starting to get unnerved.
Yeah, well, exactly. Sometimes he's winking at the kids, sometimes he's winking at somebody.
Great.
Oh my God.
Now our unseen camera follows him.
As you are busy winking, feeling great, that you just have to lounge around all day, and that's a paycheck, and you got medical and dental as well.
Heck yes.
From the zoo. You notice something. You notice a parent pushing a pram with a baby in the pram, and the baby is very contentedly sucking on just the most delicious-looking lollipop you have ever seen.
Oh.
It is like, those like ones that are like 9 inches in diameter.
Yeah, like a spiral. Of
Perfect. It
deliciousness.
is wet. It is covered in saliva, but it catches the light.
Does it look valuable?
Kinda. Let's say you've never seen a lollipop this desirable looking.
Well, then.
Oh, what's your character's name?
Well, I think at that point, the minute something that even looks like it glitters hoves into view, a bit of a transformation happens, because you see my character is actually secretly, when night falls, he takes on his persona of Nicopotamus.
Wow.
And Nicopotamus is one of the finest street thieves in the world, and he just loves stealing stuff. He just loves stealing stuff.
Thieves is definitely written the way you pronounced it, which is THIEFS.
Oh, he's a thief. There's no question about it.
Great.
But he sees something valuable, and he just thinks, I like that. And it's just got to go in his bag.
Great. So, like,
But
slowly,
he's in character as a
hippo, fully nude.
Oh, yes.
I think you can see your like black and white burglar uniform
Oh, it's neatly tucked away.
behind a tree.
Yeah. That's part of it,
Great.
You got to cover your tracks.
The mum and the dad are sort of like distractedly pushing their baby. The baby is looking straight at you and takes a long lick of the lollipop while maintaining eye contact as if daring you.
Oh, yes. These parents have no idea what they've got their heads on here.
Great.
But the baby knows. I could see.
Love
It's
it.
a fellow connoisseur of valuables. So, obviously, Nicopotamus has to start formulating a plan because he's just compelled when he sees something valuable. He's just got to have it.
What do you do?
So, I think Nicopotamus is probably going to cut straight into his eyes, going like spirally and colourfully, like they're reflecting the lollipop itself. And then a decisive motion, he'll just submerge under the mud, vanish, and he's going to reappear like inside his cave, having already quick changed into his outfit.
I believe there is a skill in Toon for quick change.
There is, yes, one of my specialties.
I would like you to roll the first roll of the campaign.
Here we go.
Roll it,
Okay.
roll it.
So my quick change disguise is 9 points.
Oh, great. So everything in Toon is a 2d6, roll equal or under. So
Equal or under to 9.
piece of cake, 6,
That's
done
a
it,
6,
quick
done it.
changed.
Okay, so he's going to... I mean, I think the camera probably sees that he's then almost instantaneously in his regular outfit, which is like black shoes, black trousers with a big hippo butt hanging out of the back. He's got like a stripy black and white burglar jumper and like a domino mask stretched across his face. And he's going to start sneaking. And to be clear, he is vast and round. And when he sneaks on his giant round tree trunk legs, he always has a huge smile on his face with his mouth open and his tongue hanging out. And he keeps winking at the camera.
I wasn't ready for how much winking is going to be part of
So
this.
much winking.
I know. Okay.
He wants you to be in on it. You know?
That's going to be a sneak roll, which, should we describe the stat block of a Toon?
Okay, so we got introduced to the 4 key attributes, right?
Yep. So in D&D, you're going to have strength, dexterity, constitution, wisdom, intelligence, charisma. In Toon, you have what?
Well, and I love these attributes. So you have muscle, zip,
Okay.
smarts,
Right.
and chutzpah.
Now, zip, that's speed.
Yes.
Smarts is just smarts. And chutzpah is how, like, the manual describes it as how pushy you are.
Oh.
And I really like that phrase from the book, but I think daring is a word that Nicopotamus
Emily looking down at her sheet and seeing chutzpah 1.
Yeah. My character does not have a lot of chutzpah.
Yeah, we'll be finding out about your character in a little bit.
And to be clear, my character has a zip of 1 because he's a hippo.
Great. So you're going to be rolling sneak. Sneak is stealth movement.
Yeah, sneak is under chutzpah, amazingly, because it's about how daring you are. And I'm really, really good at chutzpah.
Let's go.
So I've got a base attribute of 6, and then I've added 2 points to bring it up to 8 for sneak.
So if we got any super dweebs in the audience, your stats, like you have a chutzpah 6, means all of your skills under chutzpah start at 6, and then you can spend skill points to increase them. That's a 3.
That's a 3.
So easily pass. Flying
He's
colours.
a sneaky bastard. Let's
how
go.
do you
I
sneak
mean,
up to
it
this
is
pram?
far from the first time that Nicopotamus has snuck out of his hippo enclosure at the zoo. Oh no,
You're
this
on
is
the
like a
job.
nightly occurrence.
I know. Like there are a bunch of kids like looking and frowning at the enclosure and parents pointing at now an empty enclosure, wondering, surely they just can't see the hippo. But yeah, there was a crowd still looking at the enclosure, expecting you are just under the mud or something.
Listen, that happens at the zoo all the time.
Exactly.
You can't
Honestly,
expect these
Emily,
animals.
nothing could be more
They- you know,
natural.
Yeah, no,
these
actually,
animals
this is
aren't
true.
performers. Plus, I have a night job, mate, and it's time to be about it. So Nicopotamus is going to. He's going to spirit himself out of the
Enclosure,
enclosure.
yeah.
Yeah. He's going to, I think, probably dive, like, you know, point his hands in a diving position and dive merrily into a hole in the ground, and then he's going to pop straight up from a manhole that's out on the path, you know, where
Nice.
people walk around.
Do you want a snake fully like behind the pram, like contorting your body behind the?
I mean, I think he's got some sneaking ahead of him, and it's nothing he enjoys more than sneaking. So he's going to blend in with the crowd. And he'll sneak up behind the pram gradually with a big grin on his face.
The baby is looking entirely in the wrong direction. Nothing could be easier than reaching in and taking it.
And I think something I really want to stress is he's not intended to be sinister, but he is going to appear behind this pram while the parents are probably, you know, wandering off having a romantic kissy conversation or something.
He'll
or
wink
other.
at them for sure.
He's just going to pop up from behind the pram and pop up from the other side behind the pram. and like peer over the pram's broad shoulders.
The baby's fully looking in the other direction.
Yeah. And it's like a frilly perambulator, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think Nicopotamus is just going to stare at this lollipop with these colourful spirals turning in his eyes, and then he's just going to reach out and he's just got to have it.
Nick, please give me a sleight of hand check.
Except, I actually think that just as his hand reaches for the lollipop, he's going to pause millimetres away, and he's just going to look down, and he's going to realise that although Nicopotamus is always all about stealing stuff, there's a line, and the man is nothing if not a gentleman thief.
Okay, that's
and there's
great.
such a thing as not taking candy from a baby.
That's fine. I love that. As you go to retract your giant hippopotamus hoof from the candy, there's just one problem. Which is the very sticky lollipop is now stuck to your hand.
Okay.
The baby is also gripping onto the lollipop. As you lift the lollipop out, the baby is fully hoisted out with your hand. You're now glued to a lollipop. The baby is not letting go of the lollipop in any universe.
No.
The parents can turn around at any moment.
Abduction is another line I draw at. No.
Interesting. What do you do?
That's a business I don't want to get into. So I think... Damn it. Okay. So I think his first instinct is to cringe, and he sticks his other gigantic hippo paw in his huge mouth and starts chewing on his toenails.
Great.
Well, fingernails or whatever. Fingernails fly everywhere. Terrible flop sweat of fear. And then I think he just starts shaking his hand and doing the electric slide with this baby, basically.
What skill do you think this is?
Oh, God. It's definitely not
disarm
dodge.
trap? The baby has trapped you.
That's pretty good. Yeah, give me a disarm trap roll.
Oh, okay. So I have both set and... Well, it's a single stat for set and disarm trap.
Yeah.
I've got 8 because...
That's nice.
Inspired by his hero, the Wet Bandits, he's pretty good at setting and detecting
I know, it
traps.
sounds creepy. It's from Home Alone.
Oh, right.
Also, they are genuinely trying to kill that kid, so he's probably
Yeah.
not... They're probably not his heroes, in fact.
7. Okay, great. So that is fine. You have disarmed the trap. You have the...
So I fling the baby
You have
off.
the baby. Yeah, no, I was exactly on the same page. Were you trying to let go of the lollipop? Yeah, you're just trying to get the lollipop.
No,
off your
I'm not
hands.
letting go of the lollipop. I'm trying to get the kid off the lollipop.
Oh, okay. Check. The kid goes flying up over the wall into the lion enclosure.
Right, so look at
The parents are still kissing.
abject, unbelievable terror on Pilferpotamus's face. His hands go to his head. He realizes
You have
that
now
he's
stuck the lollipop to your head.
So
yeah.
now one of his hands is stuck to his head with the lollipop.
Great.
Try and yank at that for a minute. But then I hear a roar, a delectation kind of roar, like a hungry kind of roar from the lion enclosure. Terrible fear, flop sweat, and he sprints towards the lion enclosure.
Okay, great. You sprint straight towards there is a glass partition. I think I would like you to roll.
Oh, he just slams straight into it.
I think this is a notice. There's a smarts roll for... Hang on. Oh, no, this is great. Yeah, there's a skill for... Where is it? It's like... Yeah, so there's a skill for see, hear, or smell. Let's see if you detect the glass partition.
I mean, I will say that Nicopotamus is selectively smart, and while being a pretty dunderheaded goofball dumbass over here. So if it's my base smarts, then it's 6, which isn't bad, but he's not great at noticing things.
Give me the roll. 7.
No, that's a
fail.
7. That's
Right.
a fail.
So you are
First
going
fail. Let's go.
sprinting. I love this. Sprinting straight towards the glass partition. Splash! Pancake yourself. Become fractionally more two-dimensional. That's going to be our first 1d6 damage. Now, we have not rolled your hit points yet because in the 80s, people thought it was a good idea for hit points to just be a roll. So let's see how much of a protagonist or villain. We talked about this before the record. I think if either of you two roll really high hit points in this game of cartoonish damage, that kind of makes you the villain.
Right.
That's fair.
So let's roll. So please, your hit points is 1d6 plus 6.
1d6 plus 6. Okay. Wow.
What you got?
So, yeah.
5.
So
a whopping 11 hit points.
Jesus.
And then you take 1d6 damage.
it takes 1d6 damage from slamming into this glass frontage. I take 1.
Oh my god.
Great. Don't look so pleased with yourself, Rob. Okay, great. So splat, you're in the child enclosure. The lion, which you know moonlights as an accountant, you've seen him creeping out at night. Is just licking his lips, creeping towards the baby.
Yep.
The baby is like head is fully in the sand, like an ostrich, due to being thrown at tremendous velocity. The baby can't see the danger it's in because it is just trying to remove its head from the sand. You have seconds. What do you do?
Okay, blink. and then notice the lion in terror. And I'm going to have to sneak inside the enclosure somehow. So I think I'll probably try to disguise myself
interesting. Okay.
as a zookeeper.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can march into the enclosure with my broom and
Great.
hopefully lever the baby out the sand.
Give me a quick change roll.
Okay. Okay, quick change. Trying to roll under my 9. Quick change disguise. Yeah, that's a 6.
Quick change into a zookeeper. Walk straight towards the back door. A zookeeper who is just leaving the lion enclosure tips his hat at you.
All right, Jerry.
He says, all right, and then frowns because he doesn't know who you are.
And I'm past
into the enclosure. Great.
Yeah, so I'm wearing like one of those sort of weird round flat
zookeeper
caps
hats.
and like, overalls and a big mustache, and I'm still a hippopotamus. I can't stress that enough. And I'm squeezed into this uniform that I've found, and I'm going to push this broom along, inconspicuous as you like, and then dash up to the baby, and using the broom like the end of it, like the curly end of a hammer, I'm going to try and lever this baby out of the
How are you?
sand.
Okay, I think you lever the. Okay. Give me a lift heavy objects roll.
Crap.
Your lift heavy objects should be pretty
I've
good.
got pick up heavy thing at 7.
That'll do.
Even though my muscle is 1. Like, Nicopotamus is not an inherently strong character in the sense that he doesn't like using his strength.
But
Great.
sometimes he's a hippo. so-
Literally wouldn't take candy from a baby, though. And look at what the trouble it's got him into. Pick up heavy thing.
6. That's a pass.
Okay, so that's a pass.
You push, and then as the sort of like. Oh, what's that? What's the word for when something bends, but then like how pole vaulters get?
It bends?
Cantilever.
I also think I want to say the word torsion.
Say torsion.
That can't be right. I just don't
As
think
it torches.
As it no,
as it
don't
reaches
try and make me sound like an
maximum
idiot
torch.
on the internet.
Is it torque?
Maybe.
No,
No.
that's
when
for
something
driving.
turns.
Basically, okay, you push down. The
And
room
it
you're using
springboards.
bends, and then finally, when it snaps, it launches the baby in a bunch of sand back into the pram. Congratulations.
Hey.
The lion now goes to
Yeah,
the lion,
so-
which is direct. I think like there's a
Wipe
sort
the
of
flop sweat off my domino mask.
as you sort of like you are staring forwards, which means you don't realize the lion is now 2 inches behind your head. We see it just raise over your shoulder. You become aware as the lion.
All right, Gary.
He goes, "All right, Nick.
How's your day going?
Well, I was going to save that baby, but you did it for me." Nicopotamus, it is later that day that you are just relaxing, hands behind your head, on a deck chair shaped lump of mud.
Well, yeah, one of my hands is still stuck to my head with the lollipop.
Oh yeah, one of your hands still stuck. Occasionally, you frustratedly give it a little tug.
Try and lick it, like trying to lick your own ear.
When as your mouth is open and you're trying to lick your own ear, a flyer lands right on your tongue. You pull it off, and you see that it is a flyer for the home of tomorrow, in a sort of in the Anytown World's Fair. And the art shows a house full of gleaming technology that definitely looks like it could be nicked. Oh, yeah. And also a beautiful looking Ming vase in one of the rooms. Oh. It's just on the other side of town.
Would it fit in my bag?
It would fit in your bag.
Oh, then I've got to have it.
Great. And with that, we will jump over to another part of town. Emily, I'll say before we start, there is, I think, real room in terms of first of all, don't worry about it being funny, but just trying to take this world seriously as your character, I think it means we're off to the races, and just being frustrated when it does not go your way.
Great.
Our camera is going to zoom out now, and we are going to see the town again, and then we're going to zoom in on a busy high street, and we're going to zoom down an alleyway and down some stairs, and we see a sign to Harvey's Bar. And then the camera is going to slide down the door to the bottom 9 inches of the door, and we see your tiny character. Emily, would you like to describe your character for us?
I would love to. My character is leaning against the door with his little tiny arms crossed, and he's a little tiny frog wearing a cute little detective outfit.
We love to see it.
Yes.
We love to see it. Okay. You are leaning on the door. You've just gone down the stairs. You're breathing heavily because those stairs are actually exhausting. There's like 14 of them. You are here for a whiskey. It's been a long day for, what's your character's name?
His name is Robert Hopper.
We love
Private
it.
investigator.
Private investigator. Great. It's been a long day investigating things privately.
Yes.
And now you're here for a whiskey. This door is going to be a problem, though. It is a full-size door. What do you do?
I think Robert takes one good look at it.
You said you think there. No thinking allowed.
Sorry. Robert spits straight under the gap underneath the door.
Great. That sounds like I might just let you just sort of like that feels like it should be a roll. I shouldn't be generous. This is a cartoon.
This is a change shape roll. I'm trying to change the shape to be really flat.
Yeah, so in the game of Toon, you can also buy a shtick. For example, you could have, detect item, like you can always smell where carrots are. You could be able to fly. You could have incredible luck. I'm sad neither of you two went for incredible luck, honestly.
So
it was
tempted.
expensive.
But you went for the shtick of change shape.
Yeah.
Very expensive thing to buy in character creation. Please give me a change shape roll.
Okay, so my change shape is a 7.
So we're looking for 7 or less on 2d6.
That's an 8.
An 8. Great.
Oh my God.
Cannot wait. Toon has a bunch of tables which the GM can roll on. I happen to notice one. I'm very glad you went for change shape because there is a failed shape change table here. See what we get.
Can't believe I failed my first roll. Rob's like bouncing all over this zoo, saving babies, and I can't even get through this door.
Listen, you may have just had a couple of whiskeys already.
Or maybe they just don't make doors for frogs.
Okay, so you try and flatten yourself. I got pillow. So as you try, the front half of your body slides under the door perfectly. But that just means all the gas in your body is pushed backwards into the back half of your body. The back half of your body inflates like a balloon. Your head is through the door, but your arse and legs are now the size of a football and very painful looking. What do you do?
Have you got a bartender name for me, Quinns?
You can see in the bar, all you can see is the feet of about 20 people walking around inside the bar. You couldn't get anyone's attention if you want. You could try.
I want to try.
Okay, great.
The first pair of behosened, what am I trying to say? The first pair of high-heeled legs that walk past me, I go, darling, darling.
They immediately step on your head. Please take 1d6 damage. Oh, you can roll your own damage.
I haven't rolled my
your hit points.
Let's
see.
Here we go.
Are you? Oh, just 1d6. 1d6
I hopefully
plus
try and
6.
pick up 2d6. Okay. That's a 5.
Oh my god!
Level
Equally
pegging.
matched.
Equally matched.
So you have
Equally
a total,
villainous.
You have a total of 11 hit points. You're now going to take 1d6 damage from a stiletto heel stepping on, but directly between.
Oh, that's a 6. Yeah.
So you're down to 5 hit points.
Yep.
Great, 5 of 11. As a high heel, stiletto heel steps between your eyeballs
Yeah.
out horizontally, and as the heel comes away, you have a perfect square indentation between your eyes. And your arse is still the size of a football on the other side of a door. And you still really want to drink. What do you do?
I think I'm still just trying to crawl through the door. There's no,
Okay, great. No, you crawl.
I've got nothing else. I just want a drink.
Yeah. I've so been there. Okay, you crawl forward. Your arms getting purchased. Your sticky little pads pulling you further and further. Your torso gets longer and longer and longer and longer until eventually...
Yes.
Your body shoots through the door. You are launched out from under the door at top speed and become like a perfectly circular discus against the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So you are now flattened against the bar like a pancake. What do you do?
I climb gently, gingerly up the bar.
That sounds like a climbing roll.
It sounds like a climbing roll.
You gotta love an RPG with a climb skill.
Love it. Climb is in muscle rather than in zip. So I put a lot of points into it because Robert is not strong.
Yeah, you're both playing characters with one muscle, which
Yeah.
I think says something about you two.
But yeah.
Give me a roll.
I'll give you a roll.
What are you trying to get under?
I'm trying to get under a 7.
That's a 7.
I'm just rolling so high. Classic.
Would you like to describe how you climb onto the bar?
Yeah, so I think as my hands, what do frogs have?
Yeah.
Do
Hands,
they?
but with like sticky pads?
I said pads earlier, and that felt good.
Okay,
but-
pads. As I reach up and one of my pads sticks on the wall like
Oh, beautiful.
sticky, and then I managed to unpop the rest of my body from the bar and climb up. and I get to the top of the bar.
For the people at home, Emily is doing the most amazing frog climbing body language you've ever seen. Okay, you finally get onto the bar. The bartender looks down at you.
I pick myself up and I dust myself off and I go, Sam.
He tries to flick you.
He tries to flick me? Does he not know me?
Does he? Oh, sorry. Whoa. Okay,
Sorry,
play a GM.
This is the bar that I come to all the time.
Great. I would hate to yuck your anything. No, if that's an
He's
important...
like, how do you know my name's Sam? Clink.
Okay, great.
I didn't recognize you with that indentation in your head.
Yeah, you know what? I think he didn't recognize you.
Yeah, no,
so
that's
let's give me a... This is sort of a fighting roll.
Give me a don't get flicked roll.
Well, it's kind of a dodge. How's your dodge looking?
My dodge is an 8.
Very important skill in Toon, it feels like.
Yeah, it's 5.
Easy pass,
Come
great.
on.
So
Sam!
how do you dodge out of the way of a finger that goes flicked?
My body becomes a little U shape around the finger.
Great. Here for it. Okay, the finger flicks over your head, and Sam says, "Oh, sorry."
Every time, Sam.
Sorry, Robert. And then from down he pours you a whiskey, which is the glass is easily the size of you,
Nice.
and it's 2 fingers of whiskey. Or do we think you get a single drop of whiskey in the glass?
Yeah, I think. Is there a doll's house tea set that they bring out just for me?
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, like a tiny little, like a tiny
say,
porcelain
Sam,
cup.
I'm gonna need a man's glass today.
Oh, they bring out the doll's dive bar set. And
Yeah.
I think he slides out, like a bathtub from a doll's house.
Yes.
Slides it onto the table and
That's
then
what I'm talking about.
puts 2 individual drops of whiskey at the bottom of the bath. How do you drink it? What does that look like?
I stick my tongue straight out, bing, and it gets a bit of whiskey on it and goes back into my mouth.
Oh, great. What does your face look like upon drinking the whiskey?
My eyes go, if possible, even further apart and sort of like sink slightly in my face.
Oh, great. It's actually making me want to drink. Okay, great. From down the bar, you can hear a guy saying, "Did you hear? The zoo lost the hippopotamus." Another guy say, "How do you lose a hippopotamus?" I'm telling you. And then he continues. GM exposition here. He continues. Yeah, and that's not all. He said, it's the high pitch. Yeah, no, great. I'm doing it. He says, yeah, and that's not all. He was seen walking towards the Homes of the Future exhibition. This surely, Robert, is your nemesis, Nicopotamus. You put him behind bars at the zoo.
Apparently, the zoo is a prison?
Honestly, Emily, I'm riffing.
What's the accountant lying in
Don't
for?
ask questions. I feel
White collar crime.
Hey!
but this is surely your nemesis. The bartender looks down at you. He knows.
He knows.
He says, "Don't do it, Robert."
Lead me to my business, Sam.
Great.
And I stand up and I start to walk across the bar because I know that these 3...
Yep.
Good accents there, Quinns.
Thanks.
It's 3 different individuals.
You can tell. They're actually from 3 different parts of
New York.
Of any New York.
They're 3 different species.
Yeah, sure.
This is a question I have, actually. Is everyone human here except for me?
Yes.
Right, okay, cool. I walk across the bar and I try to look incredibly sort of professional and serious, but of course people are putting down their drinks and
you're having to weave back and forth. Yeah, give me another dodge roll.
Sure.
6
6,
pass. Yeah. How do you dodge the various cups? I think there is someone puts down a cup and you dodge it, and it makes sense. And you walk down, and then 8 hands that weren't previously there just begin putting down cups, but you dodge them all.
Good gravy, madam. Watch where you put in that cup. And I'm just kind of sliding and
you bob, you weave,
about.
You duck, you change shape, you become tall and thin, you become low and flat.
Yeah. And eventually I end up by the 3 gentlemen, presumably gentlemen.
Yeah, no, great. There were 2 gentlemen talking about the hippopotamus disappearing from the zoo.
Right, cool. And I say, gentlemen, what do you know about this hippopotamus?
One of them flicks you.
Foxy?
Okay, great. We are going to cut now to the outside of the... Let's be the first Looney Tunes cartoon where someone goes fuck's sake, as they get flattened
Oh
across.
yeah, I should have had some sort of
No, I disagree. I really like canonically Robert Hopper just has a mouth like a sewer. I think that's awesome.
Nicopotamus is a family-friendly character.
Robert Hopper, absolutely not. Miracle that God knows how he got even produced. Great. So we are now going to bring your two characters together, or momentarily. Nick, you are stood in a beautiful housing development. There is, imagine a house, a beautiful 2-story house with a tennis court out back and a little low sort of pool house looking thing behind the court. It is the perfect American white picket fence dream house. Hashtag don't look up the racist implications of American suburban development. And as we zoom out, though, we can see a barbed wire fence with a single sort of gatehouse with a security guard sleeping in it, and one of those black and white sort of arms that comes down and up to let cars through. As we zoom out a little further, we can see Nicopotamus. Nick, you are casing the house. What are you doing?
Nicopotamus is hiding in a bin. So the lid of the bin just sort of lifts up, and an impossibly huge hippopotamus face and eye sort of protrudes out, and it just scans the place. He's looking for watchtowers, he's looking for searchlights, he's looking for motion detectors, he's looking for those lasers that he can do that whole entrapment leotard sliding underneath thing. You remember the scene from Entrapment?
I do. Yeah.
So he's casing the place, and he's taking a particularly close look at this sleeping security guard.
Okay, great. He's doing the whole.
Yeah, who's got a very familiar badge from Dozy Security Guards Incorporated.
Great.
Quote, "We never sleep." I recognise this lot before.
Great. Yeah, fully, he overweight looking guy, older.
So I've got to get inside. I think the first thing that I'm going to do is very, very cheerfully, with a giant smile on my face, I'm going to leap out of the bin. And I presume I'm in an alley somewhere.
I honestly, there is nothing for miles. This is like a suburban, grassy, green housing development.
So it's just So is it surrounded by other houses, or is it in the middle of empty grass?
Let's say yeah. So this house. Imagine the sort of texture of a suburban environment, but this house is fully just by itself.
So it's actually slightly sinister.
Yeah, I think
Nicopotamus hasn't picked up on this.
Yeah, no, great.
But
actually,
there's weird vibes.
Would you as you're sort of walk? You said you were walking forward, getting close to the house.
Not quite. No, I mean I've got a plan, but I'm still casing it. I might walk all the way around it.
Okay, as you're walking all the way around, there is a sign. Now, a fun rule in Toon is that if you ever pass something with writing on it, it's not that your characters can't read; it's that you have to make a read roll to notice it.
Yeah.
So please make a read roll.
Oh, that's God. Funny.
So that would be on my base smarts, because I haven't put any points in reads.
So that's a 6. Good luck. That's a
no.
12.
I rolled a 12.
You walk straight past a sign with an exclamation mark in one of those yellow hazard triangles that is referring to the house. You don't read it, obviously.
No, I just give
you're casing the house, eyes on the house.
No,
don't read the sign.
Exclamation mark.
It's
just it means it's positive. So I just give the sign a big thumbs up, and I'll keep going.
Great. Do you think we should tell the listeners what the sign says, or should we?
I mean, I'd love to know as a player of this game.
I'll plug my ears.
But maybe I need to try and read it as well.
I wonder.
Maybe I'm going to get here.
I wonder. No, I think we'll present this to the listeners as the cartoon would work. The sign says "Home of Tomorrow," and then underneath it says "Under construction. Do not enter." Okay.
Perfect.
Nicopotamus continues walking around.
Okay, so having done a full circuit of there is
location. Just this fence with barbed wire on the top, and then there is a chain link fence, and then there is this guy from Dozy Security sleeping in a booth that is, if anything, smaller than he is, but he has packed himself inside.
Okay, so I think Nicopotamus' first plan is he's going to produce a little soggy-looking packet of balloons.
Okay, is that in your inventory?
Yeah, I've got it written on my possessions sheet.
How on earth, Rob, did you know that you were going to need a little packet of balloons before we even started
Because I've watched cartoons.
We did actually have a nice thing before we started playing this that Rob, because you are a bit of a genuine early animation nerd.
A bit, yeah.
You showed us some classics. You actually showed me and Emily our first ever episode of Betty Boop.
Yes. That was a trip.
I would fully encourage anyone listening
Snow
to this.
White, which is superb. Yeah, we watched the opening to Roger Rabbit, one of my very, very favorite films.
And then you also showed us the new Disney Mickey Mouse cartoons. I'd never actually seen a Mickey Mouse cartoon.
Which is superb, yeah.
And that was just incredibly strong and beautifully illustrated
Amazing.
as well.
Yeah. And Duck Amuck, which is a classic of the Merry Melodies series. Yeah. I don't know. I enjoy cartoons.
But then, Emily, you're like, why does he know
I'm
these
like,
items?
why do you have balloons?
It turns out Rob may have you and me both at a disadvantage. Okay.
There's enjoying cartoons, and then there's understanding cartoon logic, and I guess we'll find out.
Let's find out.
Okay, he's thought about these balloons. It's what he has in his burglar's kit, right? So he's gonna flop one of these things out.
I'm already really excited for this scene.
The combination of balloons, a hippopotamus, and barbed wire is surely a winning combination.
He's going to wink at the camera.
He's going to wink at the camera.
And then he's going to elaborately blow up a load of these balloons.
Do you put,
all blow up at once?
I was going to say, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I think, yes. He sort of like puts a load of them to his mouth all at once and tries to blow them up. So it's like this sort of...
So you don't even need to fasten them. If you blow up 12, you just keep them hooked in your mouth. If you want.
Yeah, exactly. If I can blow them up, then I keep them wedged in my mouth. And as I blow them up, of course, they start to float. Because that's how physics works.
I am just looking...
And I get elevated up.
I'm looking at the Toon character sheet. This has to... There is no rule in Toon for this.
There's flying.
Yeah, I don't have any points in flying.
We have to, as a 3, we now have to look at this character sheet from 1983 and figure out what skill that...
Right, but Rob is a cartoon aficionado. Why
Yeah,
can't we just narrate
Emily,
stuff that happened?
I've been playing
I'm not going to rule on this.
I have been playing Rob against Rob for long enough. You absolutely cannot let this motherfucker have any power.
No. No, I'm not going to cartoon lawyer this either. Though attempting, though.
Okay, let's start with... Do we think
is it a sneak?
I think it kind of falls under smarts.
That's fine.
Do you want to do a straight smarts roll?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's 6. So
okay.
I'm not great.
Not a great... 7.
That's a 7, so I fail.
Okay, great. Now,
so I assume. Well, I don't know.
I would, dude. If in this game of all games, I am fully here for you two pitching what happens. I definitely think you start floating, and I definitely, I think I might have this. I think the wind just picks you up and blows you in completely the opposite direction. Yeah. Let's see.
Can one of the balloons also empty, going?
So he starts slowly accelerating.
If the balloon deflates, they're still in my mouth, so it starts inflating me. So we start sinking and being blown out to sea because suddenly we notice that the suburban house is actually right on the edge of a cliff, and it's nothing but Atlantic for miles.
This is great. I mean, I have a random teleport location table that I'm reading now.
Yep.
And I do, out to sea is great. I do prefer number 36 on this table, which is into the nearest source of flame.
Yep. Suburban barbecue, 2 gardens.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, no, you can see there is nothing for miles around except for a single family with a barbecue. Like, quite literally the only thing you don't want to land on for a mile.
And the dad is midway through going, I got this, honey, I'm telling you. And he uploads upends like an entire canister of fire lighting fluid on this tiny barbecue, and then it just fucking roars upwards.
Yeah, so it's
with
now
a pillar of flame.
12-foot tall pillar of flame. Great. So what you are hurtling toward this at unbelievable speed. What
I get grilled pretty good, I think.
I'm going to give you a way out.
Oh, okay. Then I think I probably just suck all of the air back into the balloons and plummet, probably land like astride their picket fence.
Oh, okay, great, fine. You take 1 damage.
Wow.
Just a single 1 damage from with the picket fence directly between your legs.
Yeah. Yeah. But as a cartoon character, I don't have any genitalia, of course.
No, great.
It's just the one.
Nonetheless, visually fine. Robert Hopper. You have not seen this.
It's pronounced Robert.
I get Mr. Hopper. No, okay, no, we'll stick with
P.I.
Okay,
you have to have P.I. on the end.
It's Inspector.
This is such a fucking quadruple Robert Hopper. P.I. is what I have to say every time.
No, not really.
Okay, well, we'll see when I run out of patience. Okay, Robert, you are outside of the house. You are casing it. You do not know that Nicopotamus. In fact, the camera I think just pans from right to left to reveal that while Nicopotamus is on astride a picket fence, You are looking at the house, assuming that this master burglar is surely already inside the house.
Sure.
So you are maybe in the same bin that Nicopotamus was just in, peering out at the house. What do you do?
Well, I try and open the bin, but presumably that's a roll because I'm really not very strong.
Yeah, you got in the bin. Okay, great. Do you have a lift heavy objects?
It's a pick up heavy thing. It's a 1.
Okay, great. So you have to get 1 or less on 2d6.
No, I read it in the book. A 2 always wins.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you manage to roll snake eyes,
Okay.
See, don't let me lawyer.
that's
definitely not snake
double
eyes.
ones. Great. That's 7.
Yeah, classic. I lift it just a tiny bit, enough to get my half body out, and then it can't.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, So once again,
Why is
bisected
this always
frog.
happening to me?
Great. What do you do?
I put my thumb in my mouth and go. To try and jack myself up.
Okay, perfect. As you're doing that, you could the security guard who has now woken up walks over and slings a bag of trash into the bin, flattening you and pushing you back to the bottom of the bin.
Oh, come on, do I not pop out?
Do you not pop out? No,
Okay,
Robert, you're still in a bin.
Still in the bin.
Welcome to a Quinns Quest adventure. Get out of the bin.
Okay,
You know what? I will say that as you realize he's about to throw the trash on you, so you are now like an inflated beach ball, propping the lid of the bin open. You have a moment to act before the trash is thrown on top of you. What do you do?
I go, sir.
He puts the rubbish on top of you, flattening you to the bottom of the bin.
Every time I've tried to talk to someone, you've like punished me so far.
That's rude. You do have a fast talk skill.
Oh, fuck's sake, that's also a 1.
Great. Please roll 2d6 and see.
That's not.
I like to imagine that's not double ones, is it, Emily? I like to think that this is just people don't hear you.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not that
yeah,
you're not being reasonable. As soon as you said you were playing a frog, I was like, great.
I'm a step on this bitch.
World of human. 1001%. I was just like, yeah, no, great. World of human. How do humans treat frogs? I've got this.
Yeah.
So while this is frustrating for you, at least know I'm having a great time.
So pleased for you, Quinns.
All right, you're at the bottom of a bin. What do you do? You know what? Let's actually jump back to Nicopotamus. Nicopotamus.
Nicopotamus pops up out of an adjacent bin.
What just next to me?
You're both staring at the same house trying to get in. What do you do?
Nicopotamus has got to formulate a new strategy. So I think
Emily, can you take 1 damage from being compressed by rubbish? No, just 1. Not 1d6. Just the 1
Don't make
damage.
me roll it because I might die.
Is the security guard like reading something, or has he gone back?
He's gone from
By the bin now.
He went and threw a bag of trash in the bin. Now he's gone back to his booth. Now he is reading a book called or a magazine called Security Guard Monthly.
Oh, okay, yeah. He turns it on its side, and a big centerfold.
Oh,
folds
beautiful.
out.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, then I think I'm gonna try and disguise myself as the security guard's boss.
I think that, sorry, I'm stuck on this. I think the centerfold is like 16 pages long for some reason. Like it's 1 page wide and 16 pages long.
So this is what we see then. So he holds the magazine up vertically, and then the centerfold all folds out, and it unrolls along the floor like a red carpet. And just as it gets to a stop, this big crimson, like high heel Louboutin just pins it to the floor, and Nicopotamus has disguised himself as the boss of the Sleepy Security Guard Company come to get this guy in
Please
trouble.
give me a quick disguise. What's that skill called?
Is this still come under my shtick for quick change disguise?
Oh, yeah, no, it is. But
I am going to rinse this.
My eyes are lighted on the skill pass or detect shoddy goods, which also feels vaguely appropriate to what you're doing right now.
You're calling me shoddy goods.
Well, let's see how this goes.
I'm Beatrice Boss Lady, the boss lady.
Beatrice Boss Lady
of
yes.
Sleepy Security
How
Guard.
are you not? How is this not your player character?
Giant red dress, giant bust, giant blonde
huge
hair,
wig,
no visible face. Like it's just
face,
just bust, chin, hair,
Great.
The whole thing. And she's going to tell him that he's doing a crap job.
Right. First off,
what am I rolling?
Quick disguise or disguise.
Quick disguise. Trying to beat a 9. That's a 6.
Nice. Okay, great. So click. Walking down the sort of long centerfold. The security guard does not move a muscle, but you see the pupils of his eyes go up to make not eye contact with you because we can't see your eyes because you're just a wig.
Yeah. And then he looks back and forth from the cover of the magazine, which features
Beatrice Boss
Lady in like the
it's Beatrice.
Beatrice Boss Lady. Yeah, but confusingly, it's actually Beatrice X Boss Lady.
Wow.
That's her middle initial. And that is printed in giant letters across the front of this magazine, and it's like, how does she do it? Question mark. Even smaller letters. She has it. She can have it all.
I, the GM, am obsessed with Beatrice X Boss Lady.
Thank you.
I need to focus on the adventure. I gotta pass my own fucking fast talk roll for this. Right.
And then but bear in mind that I am a hippopotamus disguised as Beatrice X Boss Lady, and so she like folds her arms and she says, "You're in trouble, mate."
It's the same. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Sorry. I was like, how is that her voice?
It doesn't say disguised voice.
I fully forgot.
I'm not going to do a sexist like voice on this.
No, I was
Play
so
to find out.
carried away by the role you were playing. I couldn't understand why that voice came out. Fully in character as the security guard.
Is this episode play to find out how long it takes for Rob to completely run circles around all of us and be the GM of this game?
We're getting that sort of like weirdly close, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. God. To be clear, there were like a bunch of games I was thinking about playing. Rob pitched so hard for it to be 2, and I knew this would happen.
And not because I'd read it. I read it last night, but I was excited just by the concept.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you walk up. You say, what did you say again?
I said, "You're in trouble, mate."
He looks up and goes, "What? I'm in trouble." Make a fast talk roll.
Oh, shit. See, this is not my strength at all.
Visually, fine.
Nicopotamus, no. He's not great at fast talk. It's his base chutzpah, so it's 6.
Hippo is generally not.
Oh.
No, it's a 9.
I saw a 6 happen over there. I couldn't see the other thing, but I was like, that's a fail, mate.
Okay, great.
It was a sound plan in theory, but then I opened my big hippo mouth.
Really big mouth.
Okay, give me a second. I'll accept pitches for how this goes wrong.
Well, I want to stress that probably whatever it is that I'm saying is not audible from Robert's bin over there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Robert is currently just like looking.
Still trying to get out of the bin.
Trying to get out of the bin. I was like, I was saying that as, Robert's also still trying to figure out how to get into the house. No, that's not what's happening.
I can get into the house.
You actually got this covered.
I just have to get out the bin.
Yes. That chain link fence perfectly frog-sized, right?
I'm not even going to squeeze through there. Like, I don't have to roll for this. It's larger than my body.
I love this. I will also point out the Toon rules are so cruel for what constitutes, like, what is it, lift heavy thing?
Pick up heavy thing.
Yeah, it specifically says heavy thing is twice your own body weight.
Oh, yeah.
Choose to play a frog. Okay, so, but you can fit through the fence, so it swings and roundabouts, as we say in English. Okay, so you approach, you say...
You're in trouble, mate.
You're in trouble, mate.
And I suspect what happens is, have you got a plan? Or
it stands up and, it sort of stands up in the tiny booth, fully filling the booth. He stands up and says, "Trouble? I have been a model employee for this company. Beatrice, do you not remember what we did last summer?" His eyes become slightly soft and filled with tears as he remembers a deeply romantic encounter he had with the real Beatrice Boss Lady.
I didn't think you'd bring that up in the workplace.
Beatrice! He comes out of the booth and puts his arm around your waist and puts a hand behind your neck.
Now. We're all professionals here.
Beatrice, I hadn't been able to stop thinking about you since that trip to Benidorm last summer.
It certainly is a magical place.
Do you remember what you wore?
It's a magical place.
I wore?
Now, let's not get into that. It's a family-friendly program. I think at that point, his phone rings.
Who? Oh, the guy in the phone
rings.
Yeah.
And the caller, we zoom in on the caller ID, and it says Beatrice X Boss.
You are just GMing now. That's what's happening. Does that happen, Rob, or do you not get to decide?
I'm pitching.
Because you're a player. Let's jump back. I'm going to punish you by jumping back to Robert in the bin. Robert.
I'm jumping out the bin. There's
great.
One of those it's like if you've only got a bottle to put in this bin, there's a hole in the top of the bin, or you can lift up the lid to put a bag in.
Okay, great. There is a very narrow aperture in the top of the bin.
Yeah.
Please make a jump roll.
Please,
Emily,
let me get out the bin.
Emily is now figuring out that you just have to pitch jump. When you're playing a frog, pitch everything to the GM as a jump roll.
So my jump is an 8.
That's a 6.
That's a 6. Doing.
You go flying out the bin. The camera sort of we see Nicopotamus, and in the background you see... I've forgotten how to...
You can just... Robert.
Okay, Robert. I feel like you do it better than I do. Do it.
Robert.
Oh, yeah, that's the crow. You damn good at that.
It might be from a childhood learning Welsh, maybe.
Oh, really? Is there a lot of that in Welsh?
No.
Oh, okay.
You
Anyway,
just got to make strange noises. Anyway.
I'm very excited for you to play a Welsh
Beautiful
character.
language.
You just see in the background Robert shoot up, out of the bin, and then like up into the air, like disappears out of frame for like 10 seconds, and then lands just outside the bin. Okay, Nicopotamus. The phone is not ringing.
Okay, fair enough.
The boss lady is
I'm
not
being
on the phone.
romanced.
Yes, you're being fully romanced.
Okay, then I think Nicopotamus is out of his depth. He is not a romantic character. He never thought of the security guard in that way. And if he thought that he would, accidentally kind of cause this workplace tryst, this clinch, then he'd never have got into this disguise situation in the first place. He is flop sweating and uncomfortable. And that is, I suspect, whatever Beatrice's intentions are with this security guard, I suspect that the nail-chewing panic on his face is out of character for the boss lady. So I think he just needs to get out of this situation as quickly as possible. I think he probably says, "Oh, that's my phone ringing. You know how it is, busy boss lady. Hello." And he produces just one hand, no phone in it. He just answers his hand. "Hello."
Your flop sweat, which is causing your sheer dress and wig to become matted to your hippopotamus body. The security guard says, "Oh, I do." I've lost my Irish. "Oh, I do love your dampness." Oh, you wait. The fuck it. That was. I had a sentence that made more sense.
No,
in my head.
that's my new ringtone. I think he's going to wiggle his way out of the arm.
Does he just leave the clothes and the wig behind?
More or less, yeah. I think he doesn't realize that he's done it. Actually, yeah, he's going to. So he's squeezing it. This guy's embracing him really hard.
This is categorically a dodge roll.
And she's going to squeeze and kind of pop out and inadvertently leave all the clothing behind, and then turn around, still all.
You need to use the conditional verb tense, Rob, because it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, that's a 6.
Okay,
rolling under my
is your
dodge of 7.
Scraping by.
Just.
Okay.
Seems like dodge would be useful.
Ding, pop! You come out of the clothes. He begins hugging the clothes for a while.
Yeah.
And then fully doesn't realize that he's hugging just a dress and a wig.
Then Nicopotamus is just going to sneak off.
Okay, give me a sneak roll.
Okay. But he's sneaking back to the alley. He's given up on this plan. That's a 5 on sneak.
Great. You sneak straight in. Let's jump back to Emily. You have landed on the bin side, not the side you want to be, of the fence.
Right.
What do you do?
I think I see that the security guard is distracted.
I think maybe you catch sight of Nicopotamus just getting up to the front door, creeping along. There he is. That's your quarry.
I immediately start charging towards him, but I don't want to. I want to be stealthy because I want to catch him in the act so I can arrest him again.
Okay, perfect. Do you have sneak?
It's a 2.
2. That's no better than 1.
But I'm so small.
You are very tiny. You are pretty much just the height of a blade of grass, so you can just be frogging your way. God, it's quite creepy to be pursued by a police frog.
And I'm his police frog.
You're not noticing this. Okay, great.
Private investigator.
Private investigator. Robert. You can see Nick. Nick, you're at the entrance to the house. You look back and see your nemesis, the one who put you in the zoo for life, maybe. That's a bit of world building. We're not exploring it. Don't worry about it. Let's move on. Nick, you catch sight of Robert. Robert, you catch sight of Nick. Nick, you are just at the entrance to the completely normal house with nothing wrong with it. What do you do?
Oh, you all right, Robert?
Hippopotamus.
How are you? How are you? I've got to thank you, by the way, for setting me up with that sweet job at the zoo. I love pleasing children.
I'm completely disarmed by Rob, who's giving me the nicest smile over the mic right now.
Yeah, but then I immediately
Is this fast
try the front door.
I'm just pointing at the number one on Emily's character sheet.
In which case?
I mean, don't let me run your character for you.
No, because I've got nothing.
Okay, great.
Rob has disarmed me.
He does
Except
that.
he hasn't, because Robert pulls out a gun.
Let's go!
Hands up! Immediately, hands up. Oh!
Don't you move, Hippopotamus. You just stay right there.
His eyes immediately start to slide to the right.
Don't you move.
Important detail. Is this gun frog-sized or human-sized? I quite like if it's a frog-sized gun pointed
It's a
at a hippo,
frog-sized
and he
gun.
acts with just terror.
Yeah.
And is it like a police revolver or like a Glock?
Oh, what?
I don't know the difference.
It's a revolver. It's a classic
it's like
revolver.
a cartoon revolver. Great.
Great.
Yes,
It's a little
yes.
cute gun
So
thing.
you're pointing this like needle-sized gun at me.
Don't do it, Eponymous. You're going back to the zoo.
Don't do what? Do what?
I think both of our eyes slide to the house and then slide back to each other immediately, like, we both know why you're here.
I mean, it sounds like they've got some shiny things in there. Officer, Inspector, Private Investigator, Robert? Are we not on first name terms at this point, mate? I mean,
No.
What is your first name? No, wait, you're Robert. Yeah, no, I know.
It's Mr. Harbour to you, Nicopotamus.
Nicopotamus is going to kick the bottom of the front door and try and spin it vertically around and just spin into the house.
Wow. Oh, because you're stood next to the door, so you will be...
I've got my back to the door, hands up. I'm like taller than the door,
nice.
but I'm gonna like just kick the base, like where the cat flap would be. I would kick the base of the door and try and get it to like flip around and rotate like it's like a watermill,
Wow.
and it take me into the house with it.
Wow.
What is this?
This is... technically, this is a breakdown door roll.
Oh shit! I'm absolutely rubbish at that.
I don't know. I mean, but also, I would kind
That's
of let
fine.
this be a set trap because it's a fun idea. Just
okay, sure.
okay, give me a set trap roll.
Well, that's equal. My set trap is 8.
Oh,
so-
that's still a pass. Robert. He was so close. The door spins. Nicopotamus is launched into the house. You immediately hear a very expensive sounding crash from inside the house. What do you do? The door is still spinning.
Nicopotamus. I'm going to go for it. And I go straight through the door as well.
Great.
But presumably,
Give me a dodge roll.
yeah, okay. Presumably there are consequences.
Rob, please take 1d6 hit points of damage
That's
from
fair.
me. 8 to dodge.
No, that is my 8. Yeah, my dodge is 8.
Nice.
So, yes.
So, how do you get through the door with perfect timing?
I think I just jump at it, and because I jump so perfectly, because
It's perfectly timed.
I'll be a
Great.
frog.
You launch like a bullet of your very own through the door, perfectly as if like you're shooting through a fan. Rob,
I'm going to roll my damage. That's 4. So I'm now on 5 hit points.
How does that make you feel?
Does it make
I don't
you
think I've
feel-
noticed.
So you're on 5 hit points, and then Robert, how many points are you on?
I'm on a 4.
Okay, great. Just at that moment, as we see the external of the house, you hear a security guard yell, "Beatrice!" And then he looks up back towards the house and begins sprinting towards it. And that is where we will end our first episode of Toon. That was kind of good. Goodbye, everybody.
That's all,
Oh,
folks.
yeah, that's all. That's it.
That's all nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody. But if you're listening to this on YouTube or on the public podcast feed, your adventure is just beginning. In the description of this episode, you'll find a link to the Quinns Quest Patreon, where you can find whole seasons of Play to Find Out, as well as talkback episodes where me and Emily and Rob chat about the design of these games, and we complain about why behind the scenes they were uniquely annoying to run. And of course, that gets you access to all the other Patreon benefits as well, such as more Quinns Quest videos, blogging, and access to the Quinns Quest Discord, where this month folks are organizing a Sky Realms of Joe Rune game jam. Those people are nuts and amazing, but predominantly nuts. Here's a sneak peek of what's coming up in the next episode of Toon. Are you two ready to enter a house of dangers and disasters and maybe giggles?
Hell yes.
I guess so.
What do the can I ask questions about this yet?
Sure.
Quinns? What are the things that look like arms?
Let's play to find out. The robot dog looks at you and says,
Arf.
There are a bunch of 3D movie posters. You can see a train thundering towards you. You can see an airplane zooming through the air. You can see a tiger leaping out at you. You need to now make a smarts roll to see if you know that it's fake or not. This episode of PTFO was edited and sound designed by Brian Flaherty of Many-Sided Media, with podcast art by Paul Watson. We use the name Play to Find Out with permission from Meg and Vincent Baker.